Okay, fine. Let's go into the templates part. Right. So yesterday, like I told you, if I want some specific dynamic things to be available, right? నిన్న చెప్పాను ర్యామ్ ఉంది attributes లో చూసాం కదా list of attributes. If I go into my list of attributes for this one, I can collect this information dynamically. Your operating system కానీ IPI address కానీ platform కానీ. So basically, I can collect this information with the help of attributes. రైట్ ఆ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ని మీరు యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు విత్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ టెంప్లెట్స్ రైట్. సో బేసికల్గా ఏంటి అంటే ఆ టెంప్లెట్స్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు మనకి ఈ డైనమిక్ వాల్యూస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో ఫెచ్ చేసుకొని మీరు ఏమైనా ఆపరేషన్స్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో బేసికల్గా మీకు పైథాన్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ అని స్క్రిప్టింగ్ చాలా వస్తే ఇట్ వుడ్ బి వెరీ యూస్ఫుల్ రైట్. సో లెట్స్ గో అండ్ వర్క్ విత్ ద అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ రైట్ నౌ. సో అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఈ నోడ్లో ఓహాయ్ రైట్. నేను ఎప్పుడైతే ఓహాయ్ రన్ చేస్తున్నానో అవే నా attributes. These are all my attributes actually. You see number of CPUs, right? All this, the information can be collected straight away. Right? File system, right? All this can be collected with the help of attributes. No, we cannot change it. It is system level. నాకు ఇది చేంజ్ చేయాలంటే నేను గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్ దగ్గర బికాస్ దిస్ మెషిన్ ఈస్ గివెన్ బై గూగుల్. సో అక్కడ నుంచి వచ్చే ఈ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ బట్టి మీరు ఏదైనా చేయాలంటే వీ కెన్ డూ విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ రైట్. అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ వాడినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ నొటేషన్ చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, కొంచెం కొత్త టర్మినాలజీ వస్తుంది. విల్ సీ దట్ రైట్. సో బేసికల్లీ నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఇప్పుడు ఐ వాంట్ టు బేసికలీ గో విత్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ డిపెండెన్సీ. నేను నా వాట్ డిడ్ ఐ డూ దట్ వెబ్ టెస్ట్ అనే కుక్ బుక్ రాశాను. సో అదేం చేస్తుంది, ఇట్ వాస్ జస్ట్ గోయింగ్ అండ్ ఇన్స్టాలింగ్ HTTP రైట్. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఐ గో విత్ న్యూ నోడ్స్, ఇంకో కొత్త 2 నోడ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను. లెట్స్ సే సంథింగ్ లైక్ నోడ్ 2 నోడ్ 3 రైట్. నోడ్ 2 నోడ్ 3 క్రియేట్ చేసి బేస్డ్ అపాన్ దిస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నా ప్లాట్ఫామ్ సెంటర్స్ కానీ ఫ్యామిలీ కానీ తీసుకొని 2 మెషిన్స్ పెడతాను. ఒకటి CentOS మెషిన్, ఇంకొకటి Ubuntu మెషిన్, 2 different operating systems. And I want to install Apache, right? So operating system RHEL కానీ CentOS అయినప్పుడు it should take HTTPD. అదే Ubuntu మెషిన్ పెట్టినప్పుడు నా ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది, Debian ఆర్ Ubuntu అని ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు Apache 2 ఇన్స్టాల్ అవ్వాలి రైట్. సో అది చేయాలి అంటే యూ నీడ్ టు ఫెచ్. మీకు అర్థమైంది కదా అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ ఎందుకు పిక్ చేసుకోవాలనేది. డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ వాల్యూ యూ కెన్ మాడిఫై యువర్ కుక్ బుక్స్. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ యాక్చువల్గా రైట్. దట్ వీ కెన్ గో విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్. సో వాట్ ఐల్ డూ ఇస్ లైక్ సో ఇప్పుడు నాకు కరెంట్లీ ఓన్లీ నోడ్ 1 ఉంది కదా, ఐల్ క్రియేట్ 2 more నోడ్స్, నోడ్ 2 అండ్ నోడ్ 3 రైట్. లెట్స్ సే ఐల్ గో విత్ స్పెసిఫిక్ నోడ్. లెట్స్ సే దిస్ ఇస్ మై node 2. Okay, CentOS 7. So 6 CentOS 7 right. So I create one more machine and let's say this is my node 3 and I'll choose micro. So this one I'll choose something like Ubuntu based machine. Let's say Ubuntu 16.0 and let's say allow HTTP traffic and let's say this is my, so everything good. Node 3 is Ubuntu machine right. Now currently I'm having 3 nodes right. One is node 2, node 1, node 2, node 3, but currently I want to work with node 2 and node 3. So I want to write a cookbook which affects based upon the attributes. So attribute select చేసి if attribute is this, do this task. If attribute is this one, do this task. Right, very important. Right? So let's go and log into both node 2 and node 3. This is my node 3. Alright, so currently node 2 is my CentOS, good. And node 3 is my Ubuntu, right? Let's give it some time. And if I say cancel, release, yes, I'm having Ubuntu version. Both different best operating systems. ఇప్పుడు వీటిని నేను ఏం చేయాలి బేసికల్గా ఐ నీడ్ టు అటాచ్ దెమ్ టు మై సారీ ఫస్ట్ చూడండి కొత్త నోట్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి చెప్పండి స్టెప్స్ బూట్ స్టాప్ చేయాలి బూట్ స్టాప్ చేయాలంటే బుక్ వర్క్ స్టేషన్ నుంచి ఏం చేయాలి యాక్చువల్గా ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ హ్యాండ్ షేక్ రైట్ బికాస్ వర్క్ స్టేషన్ కదా మాట్లాడాల్సింది ఎస్ కొత్తది కాబట్టి సో ఎప్పుడైనా సరే మీరు ఏదైనా కొత్త నోడ్ మీ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్లోకి తీసుకొస్తున్నారంటే ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ యూ నీడ్ టు గో విత్ మేక్ ద హ్యాండ్ షేక్ బిట్వీన్ దిస్ మిషన్ సో ఎలా చేస్తాను ఐ విల్ గో టు మై వర్క్ స్టేషన్ రైట్ వర్క్ స్టేషన్ నుంచి డేటా తీసుకుంటాను రైట్ ఐ విల్ టేక్ ఇట్ అప్ అండ్ ఐ విల్ సే ఈ స్పెసిఫిక్ నోడ్లో ఐ కెన్ యాడ్ ఇట్ అప్ రైట్ సో ఐ విల్ సే vi authorized keys. So already so I'll say I want to add my workstation as well. I'll save the changes. Similarly, I'll go to authorized keys. So basically workstation నుంచి 2 machines లోకి రావాలి ఎందుకంటే workstation అనేది కదా it will run chef client అంటే right what is it bootstrap అనేది workstation నుంచి రన్ అవుతుంది. So that's the reason why I'm enabling access for both node 2 and node 3. Right. Now I should be able to log into them, right? So let's say search something like node 3. Yes, I was able to log into that and make sure it is also possible with node 2. Right, done. So both node 1 node 2 I was successfully able to log in. So I am sure that both can work. Now what I need to do, I need to see you created new nodes, you made handshake. What is the next thing to do? Sorry, bootstrap. I need to make the bootstrap of this particular thing. So how I can make it? Knife bootstrap IP address of node 2 right hyphen x username hyphen n node name. So it's node 2, right? Okay. Maybe ఇలాంటి ఎర్రర్ వచ్చింది శ్రీకాంత్ సేమ్ ఇలాంటి ఎర్రర్ వచ్చింది. సో బేసికల్గా ఇది ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందంటే ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ నాట్ ఇన్ ద షఫ్లర్ ఎందుకంటే నా పర్టికులర్ పెన్ ఫైల్స్ అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి. అప్డేట్ ముందు చెప్పలేకపోవడం అది అవును బయట నుంచి చేశాను. Right, so it installed in that node 2. Right, now let's go and attach. Now if I go to my chef environment and if I refresh I should be able to see So I have Node 2 available. Let's go back and check with the Node 3. So eventually, nice bootstrap. Here it is, Node 3 followed by the IP address of Node 3, right? The IP address of Node 3 was this one. Yes, I'll copy it up. Go there and let's say it's connecting to my Node 3, it's going it up. Right. So both are up and running. Let's go and let chef manage. Yes, I have three nodes with me currently. Right. But my agenda is in Node 2. So HTTPD should be installed here. Apache 2 should be installed. Right. Based upon the criteria of my platform, something like that. Right. So let's go and let's create one particular cookbook, new cookbook. Right. Let's say how I can generate cookbooks. Chef cookbook, cookbook name, right? Let's say something like uh, what we can give web service, right? So I'm going to go with something called like web service. Right. So it went and it gave some new web server, right? Web service. Now let's go and start working with your particular things. Now, when you want to work with attributes, now I told you that we are going to work on the attributes, right? Now you need to create some new particular structure, right? Attributes you need to give in specific folder structure. So how you need to do is like I'll say mkdir. What is it? Web servers, right? Then you need to create something called like attributes directory. You need to create the directory called attributes. Okay, right? So I'm saying attributes. Now I'll say vi web servers. Under that I'll say attributes and I'm going to create a file called default.rp. Right? This is where I'll define my attributes. Right? Making sense? Listen. For timing, I'll just like save this. We were talking about attributes. So I told you right yesterday, like if I want like uh, different operating systems are there. Okay? Based upon some attributes, I want to create some specific softwares. Let's say currently we set up two more nodes. Right? One is Node 2, Node 3, where in Node 2 we installed CentOS. In Node 3 we installed Ubuntu. Right? And what we did basically is like nothing but we made handshake between my workstation with Node 2 and workstation and Node 3. And just what we did is like we created a new cookbook called web service. So what we did was just like we went and we generated a cookbook called web service, and basically we are working with attributes right now. And currently, when you see your web service, right, you don't have any attributes there. So we need to create a directory called attributes. So if I say, we just went and we created a directory called attributes. Under that attributes, we went and we created something called like default.r. Right now, I'll update my what do you say attributes. Right now, how to start with particular thing. So here you see I got how many kinds of operating system right now? Two, right? So basically, in these scenarios, let's say you might have 3, 4, 5 operating systems. So in this scenario, switch and case is the best thing, right? Switch case syntax. Anyone use switch case? You see, this is a simple switch case. Now he is telling some entering the grade. So if the case is A, it will do well done. If it's B, it say try harder. If it's C, it will do this. Else it will do something like that. Making sense? If not, more simple thing. You have anything more simple than that? You see, basically nothing but selection. It is more good than basically if and else. Right? Basically, instead of using if else, you use switch in this scenario. All you need to understand is you need to understand basically the syntax. Right? If not, I want, I think like I have seen something. You see, instead of this else, if else, right? We generally can go for your what do you say? Switch case. You see, if result is do this, if result is do this particular thing. Nothing but advanced if and else. That is switch case, right? So when you are working with your Ruby, make sure that you are going with that particular syntax, right? Now I'll say first case, right? Now how to basically get the information of these attributes. Now if you see my node 2, I'm having some attributes, isn't it? How you can get them is basically with something called like node, a syntax called node. Now I'll simply say case, I'll say node. And what I want to pick up actually, you see, with the help of platform I can choose, right? Whether it is CentOS or Ubuntu. So I'll say I'll choose this platform. So if you go down, yes, you have platform. And for Ubuntu, platform is right. So what I'll do is like I'll say node and I'll use a notation. And I'll say pick platform. Right? Now based upon when it is something like Ubuntu, I'll say go with Apache 2. If it is CentOS, I'll say go with HTTPD. Right? Making sense? Now let me go and I'll say when, right? What when? When it is CentOS or it is right? Making sense? Because these two become, I mean, like belong to the same family. Isn't it? Because in CentOS or in Yum, sorry, not Yum, what is it? In RHL, we'll say Yum install HTTP. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going with RHL. Right? Any of these things, either if it is CentOS or RHL, it should do this task. So what I should do basically, right? No. If I say install direct HTTP, right, you are again hard coding. I don't want to hard code it. So I'll say default, right? Under this default, I'll give the package name, a variable called package name. You see, I'm going to define something called like package underscore name, right? And I'll say this is exactly. I'm not hard coding. Based upon this value, it should pick up from my attributes, right? And similarly, what else we have? Let's say service name, right? Let's say default. And what is the service name is going to be for this? .conf. No, these are packages and services. Conf is both, even for CentOS or even for Ubuntu config file. Right? Service name and package name is changing. That is what service, right? So it will figure it out. Either it is systemctl or service, it will take care of. But the name should be known, right? Either it should use HTTP or Apache 2, it's not confident about that. Right? Now I'm using these two things. Now, in the similar fashion, when, what is the other scenario I need to go with? When it is R, what should I do in this scenario? Default. What it should be? Apache. And similarly, making sense? And I'll go with case లో do రాదు చూడండి syntax. That's the reason I told you. Case, this is how the syntax will look. That's the reason why you need to know the syntax. That's it. మీరు గూగుల్లో కొట్టేసారనుకోండి, you'll get definitely the syntax. ఆ syntax ప్రకారం వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. I'll say case when. If both are not, do this one. Right? Now let's go and save it up. Right? Let's say I think like everything is good, right? Any spelling mistakes? Platform. DB. తీసుకుంటాం బేసికలీ బికాస్ ఆ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో ఏదో అది తీసుకుంటుంది. సో స్పెల్లింగ్ ఈజ్ DEBAIAN, right? Let's go and save. Now I did not write any cookbook actually, just I have defined the attributes for that. Now let's go and generate the cookbook for that, right? Now I can directly go and put it in my particular thing, right? So where can I go say? I'll say VI, right? Under web servers, recipes, default.r. Now I'm going to write the cookbook for this. Right? Tell me, how can I write the cookbook for this right now? What should be the first thing? First install the package, right? What is the resource I need to use? Resource. Package. Package is a resource, right? I'll say package. Now what package should be installed here? No. Will I say HTTP again? Again it is hard coded, right? Exactly. It should pick up the attribute which is there in my the default.rb which I have picked up there. So how you are going to pick it up with the help of no. You need to go with this syntax and you will say that now if this particular cookbook is executing on CentOS machine, it will pick up HTTPD. If the same cookbook is going to execute on Ubuntu, it is going to pick up Apache. Right? Based upon where it is running, it will define the thing. Right? Now let's say the package name, then I'll say do, and I can say action install. And similarly, I can say service. Right? And I'll say node and what is the action? Right? I can go and specifically say this right now. Now let me go and save the changes and let's check whether it's good. So I'll say knife cookbook. What is it? Test. Yeah, okay. There is no particular syntax error as of now. Right? Now what I need to do? You need to tell me the steps from here. No need. No. If there are any specific errors, right, we can know with the help of debugging. So once you go into your specific node, then you need to see whether it's successfully installed. Yeah, that's the only time when you log into your nodes. Right? So how am I going to, what's the next step I need to do? I have written my cookbook. Upload the cookbook, right? What I need to say? Knife cookbook, upload. Right? I have uploaded my those particular things. Now what is the next thing? Add it to run list. So tell me, knife node run list add to what I need to add? Web server. Right, it has been added to the, and similarly I also need to run it with my so it went and updated both the runners, my node 2 as well as node 3. Right. Now let's check in the GUI mode as well once. If I go to my chef manage, if I reflect the policy, so I have both my web servers. If I go to my node, if I click this edit run list, and I have web servers for my node 2, and similarly for my node 3, I have my web server. Right? Now next thing, chef client in specific nodes, right? So let me go back to my this one. Let's say sudo chef client. You see, now it was able to pick up, there are two resources and it is going with the yum. Why? Because it's my CentOS based machine. So in the meantime, let me go on the do sudo chef client here as well. And it was able to pick the apt-get and Apache. Right? So understood, right? Where you can use the help of attributes actually. So if you want to do task based upon the attributes which you are getting from the specific node, you can go and execute those tasks. Clear? Now it says it has updated and it also started the service. And similarly, if I go, it is also saying it started the Apache 2 service. So let's go and compare both things. So this is my node 2. Yes, this is my CentOS, and if I check my node 3, yes, my Apache 2. Right, both are running without any specific problem. Right, making sense. So based upon, if you want cross platform, I mean, like let's say you're writing some specific recipe which should run across different platforms, this is what you need to use. Right, now you don't need to depend on something like shell scripts. Right, if you write shell script, it is dependent. It is dependent basically on platform. If it is Ubuntu, it will run differently. If it is like CentOS, it will run differently. For that, we can use Ruby script, which is cross-platform. Making sense? Fine. Now let's talk about something called like, sorry, tag. Right. And method. Templates. Attributes type. Now we are moving into templates. Did I tell anything else? Okay.
Default.rb is the default name.
We can change. Basically, I'm just giving default. And if specific code, I mean, like let's say something like web.rb, hello.rb, anything is fine.
And the case node.
That's definitely as syntax. Yeah, it's a default. So, mere a specific node address, we need to go with that. Yeah, syntax. So, that's my research. So, basically, we attributes. So, I'll simply say chef attributes. Something like this. Node IP address. That is how you are getting the information, right? Other this one. By default the pictures ఉంటుంది. అది మనం 2 recipes ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నామంటే ఇంక్లూడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో నేను ఒక డిఫాల్ట్ రాస్తాను. మనం ఒక క్లాస్ నుంచి ఇంకో క్లాస్ కాల్ చేసాను సిమిలర్లీ. సో మీరు చేయొచ్చు ఇంక్లూడ్ అని ఉంటుంది. I'll talk about that. సో మీరు అది తీసుకొని you can include one more recipe in our upcoming class actually. Python will not work in this. It is Ruby based. మీరు Python తో చేస్తా అంటే you need to go for ANSI. That's the difference. Same thing run user, but you'll use a Python syntax. So let's go back to templates. So ఇక్కడ templates ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Now basically, let's say I want to basically display this. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేశాను, ఈ particular ఒక వేరియబుల్ పిక్ చేసుకొని అట్రిబ్యూట్ పిక్ చేసుకొని ఐ డిడ్ సమ్ టాస్క్, బట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు షో దిస్ వేరియబుల్స్ యాజ్ నా సిస్టమ్ టైం అనుకోండి, నేను ఆ పర్టికులర్ ప్లేస్లో నా టైం చూపించాలి, లేదంటే ఐ వాంట్ టు డిస్ప్లే మై ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ మై పోస్ట్, రైట్? నౌ ఐ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్ లైక్ టెంప్లెట్స్. టెంప్లెట్స్లో మీరు ఏమి రాస్తారంటే బేసికలీ యూ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్ లైక్ embedded Ruby, right? I'll show you. Like, basically it's very simple actually. So మీరు ఒకసారి వెళ్ళి ఆ స్పెసిఫిక్ దానిలో you'll tell like this particular what do you say attribute I want to use. So you'll go with the same notation, but you have some new things like you got some particular syntax. You have some syntax, right? So ఇది ఏంటంటే మనకి Drupal చేసిన వాళ్ళకి ఎవరికైనా ఈ syntax Drupal. There is something called like Drupal, which is like your CMS. దాంట్లో కూడా వాల్యూస్ డైనమిక్గా పిక్ చేసుకోవడానికి. So we need to go with that notation, right? Then you will be able to dynamically fetch some data out, right? So if not, what I'll do is like right, fine. So I'll go back to my node 1. Which VIM. Let's say we have given web test, right? Yesterday, under the web test, let's this default.r. So here basically, if you see, right, we were using something called like cookbook, right? I mean like cookbook underscore file. Now I can also go with something called like a resource called template. See, if I go to my resources, I think there is something called like template. So there is something called like template, and it goes with embedded Ruby. Making sense? So basically ఏం లేదు, నాకు ఒక పర్టికులర్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది నేను ఎక్కడైనా డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి, ఎక్కడైనా డైనమికల్గా వాడుకోవాలంటే ఐ నీడ్ టు గో విత్ టెంప్లెట్స్. ఇప్పుడు నేను index.htmlలో నాకు ఏదైనా డైనమిక్గా రావాలనుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ కమ్ అప్, రైట్? సో నేను స్టాటిక్ ఏం పెట్టానో అది వస్తుంది. నాకు అక్కడ కూడా ఏదైనా డైనమిక్గా చూపించుకోవాలి అంటే వి యూజ్ టెంప్లెట్స్. సో ఎస్టర్డే మీరు ఏం చేశారు, ఆ పర్టికులర్ సోర్స్ కాల్ ఎక్కడ ఉందని చెప్పారు, ఇఫ్ నాట్ ఆ కంటెంట్ ఏంటని మీరు ఇచ్చారు. అలా కాకుండా మీరు ఒక ఎంబెడెడ్ రూబీ ఫైల్ రాస్తారు. లెట్స్ సే సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు నా ఫైల్ index.html అనుకోండి, విల్ పుట్ index.html.erb. దాని లోపల ఈ డైనమిక్ కంటెంట్ వచ్చేలాగా పెట్టేస్తారు. Right, I'll show it up now. Maybe I'm not sure whether they have given any. దీనిలో చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటాయి. Yeah, this is what we need to do. ఇలా ఇస్తాం అనమాట యాక్చువల్లీ నోటేషన్ డైనమిక్ కాల్ చేసుకోవడానికి, రైట్? I'll show it up. So maybe like once you are done. Now let's say I will not go with something called like this one right now. Right? What I need to use? I need to use template resource. Right? So let's go. If not, I'll comment this one as well. Right? Now let's go and so I'll say the resource I want to use is templates, right? And basically I can give where that particular template is coming from, right? So by default all your templates are going to be under the directory called templates. Because he has given something like all your templates should be placed under cookbooks templates directory. Right, we need to go into that. So I think like I did not create it, right? First let's go and create that one. I'll say make directory web test. Under that I need to create something called like templates. Make sense? So ఎందుకంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ టెంప్లెట్ అనే రిసోర్స్ వాడాలి అంటే ఐ నీడ్ టు గో విత్ దిస్. సో ఎస్టర్డే నేను ఇంకోటి కూడా వాడాను, కుక్బుక్ అండర్స్కోర్ ఫైల్. అదేం చెప్పాడు, he need to he told me that I need to create something called like files directory. Under that I need to go to something like default, then keep the file. Similarly, I am going with the same approach. He is giving the source. I'll give the same particular thing here. I'll say this is my templates directory, and under that particular templates directory I need to create something called like default, and I'll say my source is something like index.html.erb. Alright, so I'll say vi web test got like templates. Okay, I need to create one more, right? Templates will be create default, and I'll say that's a directory. Files will never want to పెట్టేసాను, right? So let's say web test followed by templates, and I need to go with default, and here I'll say embedded Ruby file. I'll say index.html.erb. So now I'll give the notation here. So I'll say, let's say I want to use some h1 tag, and I'll say welcome to let's say something like chef, and I want to use some notation here, right? I'll say percentile and going to node of what you want to use it, and you can go with percentile close slash h1. Now I can go and put anything I want. Let's say welcome to chef. What are the attributes I'm having here? Let's go to my node 1. Let's say welcome to let's say something like platform. So I'll say I want to use a platform here. Say platform. Right. Similarly, let's say I want to go with something like h1 tag, and I'll say what else I want to use. IP address. Percentile equals to node of and that's it. Now it will dynamically pick anything you want from here, right? And let's check whether everything is good. So I'm saving up those changes, right? Now I should update my recipe, right? Let's go back and let's say web test recipes default and say the template I want to use was, what is it? So what's the syntax is going with? So it's just giving the particular file where the thing should be updated. So I'll say you should get var www html slash index.html. Right? This should get updated, isn't it? Now I'll say do say and I'll say the source for that one. Alright, what is the source? I'll say it is index.html. Making sense? Right? It should automatically go and pick it from my template which I have defined with the html.er. Let me save it up and let's say let's test it first. Test. Yeah, so there is no particular error right now. So I'll say knife cookbook, upload, test. Maybe like so this I'll go and update the metadata. So cookbook, test. Now it went and it updated my cookbook. Now if I go back to my node 1 and if I say sudo chef client, right? Once I run this, can you see? IP address, it picked it up and it was even able to pick up this particular thing, right? So if I go and what's the IP of my node 1? 220. Execute it. Yes, welcome to chef, CentOS and IP address. But if I give this basically without templates, that I can never get the dynamic values. If you want dynamic attributes to be displayed, you can use something like your templates. Basically in scripts it would be very helpful, right? Fine. And anything else? So templates. Fine, because it's almost up, right? But tomorrow we'll talk about our roles and environments. Data bags is left. Yeah, those are the three particular concepts. Yeah, fine. I'll show it up. Now, what you can do is like maybe tomorrow I'll show you. So it's very one small script which you need to do. So once you do that, like, it keeps on automating itself for everything. So just like you need to say cron tab -e, create that particular cron tab, and you'll say sudo shift, and you'll give the timestamp. So when it should get automated. It's fine. I will stop it here. Yeah, that's it. For today, we'll stop it here. Tomorrow, I think like tomorrow, mostly we can complete roles. Then we have web server, not roles. What is it? Environments is there. Environments and the database. Database. These three concepts are very important. So once that you are done, mostly chef is done. Fine. What are the dot ఎంబెడెడ్ రూబీ అంటే మీరు ఫెచ్ చేసుకున్నారు చూసారా ఇప్పుడు ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఫెచ్ చేసుకోవడానికి వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ విత్ ఎంబెడెడ్ ఇప్పుడు ఆ పర్టికులర్ నోటేషన్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు కదా గ్రేటర్ దెన్ లెస్ దెన్ సింబల్ అవి యూ డెఫినెట్లీ నీడ్ టు గో విత్ దిస్ స్పెసిఫిక్ సో మీరు ఒకసారి టెంప్లెట్స్ ఇచ్చారు అంటే విల్ గెట్ you always go with that particular embedded Ruby templates. Let's see. So you got like thousands of resources actually. You choose and put a lot, like so many things are there in it. So they are using something like Splunk actually. You can చూడండి మీరు కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ కూడా పిక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు మీరు http.conf సంథింగ్ రాస్తారంటే దాన్ని కూడా పెట్టేసి based upon that thing you can go there, right? So document root ఏమైనా కావాలంటే అవి కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు కావాలంటే I mean like just like go with this మీరు ఒకసారి దీన్ని చూసారనుకోండి it will get an idea like how to use this things. Let me delete these two things. It will expire maybe in hardly 1 week. Okay. Almost like 100 days, 3 months or so. Actually, Docker and Chef, both of those you don't need to worry about anything. Either one of them. మీరు షెఫ్ అనే డాకర్ యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. లెట్స్ సే మీ కంటైనర్స్ మొత్తం ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అంతా కంటైనర్స్ పైన మైక్రో సర్వీసెస్ పైన చేస్తున్నారంటే డాకర్ ఇస్ ద బెస్ట్ చాయిస్. బట్ లెట్స్ సే యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టిపికల్ సర్వర్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్, యూ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ షెఫ్. Mostly like I think like Friday we can edit up. We'll check. Because roles and environments, it will take another. అన్నీ ఫస్ట్ నుంచే మనం ప్రాజెక్ట్లో మళ్ళీ అన్ని ఫస్ట్ నుంచి చేయాలి. సో మళ్ళీ